All right, good morning, everyone. It is June 9th, 2023. This is 10 ways to drive traffic to your Sitebuilder website. I want to thank everyone for being here today. Again, we are recording this for posterity. So if you're watching this in the future, some of the things may have changed. Please reach out to the marketing department, web support, in the event that you have some questions. They'll be happy to help you. That's websupport@rwtown.com. All right, so if you do have questions, please feel free to raise your virtual hand or type it in the chat. I'll get a hold of Kristen and we'll get your question answered as we go. Again, also we'll have questions and answers at the end. Without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Kristen Fredericks. Thank you, Kristen.
Right. Thank you so much, Tim. All right, today we're going to be talking about top 10 ways to drive traffic to your Sitebuilder website. So this class is a little less on instruction and more about inspiration. A lot of people don't know how many different things actually connect to your Sitebuilder website and how you can drive leads and drive traffic to your website. So I just want to show you 10 quick ways. These are not the only ways that you can actually drive traffic to your website to be able to do some more lead generation, just get your name out there, get some more information out there about you and about your website as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. We're going to actually go through each slide here, and then I'm going to try to show you a live example of some of this just so you can see what's available to you on your website and just some inspiration again. So one of the first things that we'd like to encourage everyone to do is to create and share meaningful content pages. So we know for a fact that Google loves new content, and every single Sitebuilder website has an unlimited content page capability. You are welcome to make as many as you'd like, and you can make them on as many topics as you'd like. They can be informative, they can be informational, they can be humorous, they can be video, they can be all sorts of fun things on there. We have pre-built a bunch of different content pages for you so that you have something to start with so that you can do some sharing. So if you want to add these links to your e-cards, you want to add these links to your social media, whatever it happens to be, maybe you just want to share some great information with people who are considering working with you. We have some information for you on here as well. All right, I'm going to turn off my camera real quick just to save bandwidth as I start going back and forth between these two pages. And let's go ahead and take a look at a couple of content pages that are available to you that are already built into your Sitebuilder websites. So for those of you who don't know, we have Ralston Audain's website right here, ralstonaudain.com. His website looks a little busy, but that's okay. And it's because it is the clearinghouse for all of our different examples when we're doing training. The first two categories are what we're going to take a look at right now, which are these bio global pages and business global pages. Anytime you hear us say global pages, it means that the content is already built into your site and you can use it whenever you'd like. All you have to do is change the domain in the front. So let me take an example here. Let's take that MRP designation. So these are bio global pages that are available. Most of these are going to be designations. And if you'll notice that it's changed here to ralstonaudain.com/MRP, all you'd have to do is change your domain to that. So if we had lewiseisenberg.com/MRP, maryagent.com/MRP, this is available for you to use right now on your site. And you're going to notice that these content pages are all done with great search engine optimization in here. And they're going to go ahead and explain all of these different designations that you can earn. These are great to be able to share, to link off to, and again, your e-cards. It's a great thing to be able to share on your social media, and it is pre-created for you to use whenever you'd like. You can take a look at these different global pages and you can see what's available. We do try to add designations when there's information. Some of the designations you can get from NAR don't have a lot of marketing material with them. But if you do have some suggestions for any that need to be added in here, please send them along to websupport@rwtown.com. We'll be happy to try to make those for you that everybody can use. The next category over, I want you to see are some additional pages that have been created for you that you can use automatically, and I hope that they inspire some inspiration for you to create your own as well. Probably one of the most popular ones that we see shared all the time are things like the home search by base. This is available for every single website right now. Again, you just need to change your domain up here to your own domain /home search by base. There's some hyphens between each word just to make it easy. This page, again, built into every single Sitebuilder website that's available. And you can go ahead and click on any of these different stations. And it will bring you to a list of properties that surround it. So we've done some proximity things on the map. So if you were to click, for example, Langley, it's just going to go ahead and give you that area that's in Poquoson and Hampton and that bit in Newport News that's kind of around Langley right there. Certainly people can go ahead and change their search criteria by price or by property type or even area after that. But this just gives them a nice starting spot to do. Additionally, on those global pages, things that are available for you right now and ready to go are things like the open house sign-in. If you're having an open house, you can just go to your domain/open house, and here's that electronic sign-in so that people can just go ahead and fill this information in as they come to your open house and hit send, and it'll automatically drop all that information into your CRM. You are also welcome to go ahead and fill that information out as you can talk to people. We've seen agents walk around with a tablet, just saying hi to people, just gathering some information and filling this in as they're talking to people without asking them to be able to do it, and then go ahead and hit send, and you can always address them later if you'd like to. I encourage you to go back and take a look at this site so that you can see some additional global pages that are on here. But you'll also see things like why rent or buy. We have some things about our property management services. And then we have things like this, like our Domus tools. So for those of you who like to use statistics and you're into facts and figures and you like to share things about our market and real estate market, we have these meaningful content pages about market prices and insights. And these are the Rain Domus tools that are automatically built into your website right now. Again, you just need to change the domain. So this one happens to be ralstonaudain.com/market-insights. Just change that to your domain up here /market-insights. It's already created for you and ready to use. I love these stats. I love data. So, all right. So let's take a look at another category of things that you can do to drive traffic to your website. And that would be our SEO pages for neighborhood landing pages. For those of you who haven't seen these yet, all of our websites support these great data pages for neighborhoods, and they don't have to be just neighborhoods. We call them neighborhood reports, but they're not just for neighborhoods. That allow you to have all sorts of stats about what's going on in the market. It has active and pending and sold properties, and it also has lots of calls to action to encourage people to sign up for more information and to receive these reports weekly. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of those pages. I'm going to go back to Ralston's website real quick on here. And I want you to see this page over here called Neighborhood Reports. We've just given some samples over here for you to take a look at. And you'll notice that some of these are neighborhoods. So here's something like Eagle Harbor. This is over here in that Smithfield area. Governor's Land, which is up in Williamsburg. North End, which isn't an actual neighborhood per se, but a group of neighborhoods or an area. We actually created this one by doing a map that we drew around the area that we needed it. This one is for a whole city. Here's the Poquoson Market Report. And you can even get as detailed as something like this. This one happens to be the Suffolk Luxury Report. So this is for properties in Suffolk that are over 600,000. So it's just giving the luxury report. These are fabulous to be able to use on things like direct mail and on e-cards. And again, on social media. Let's go ahead and take a look at one. I'm just going to go ahead and grab this North End one here. This takes just a second to load when I'm doing a screen share. It's usually faster when it's going to be on your end, on your website. So I do apologize for this slight delay while we pull this up here. But I do want to reiterate that you can create these landing pages for anything. So if you can search on it, you can actually create a landing page for it. It's not limited to just neighborhoods. So this particular template happens to be in the black and silver, which is for our luxury collection for North End, which is, of course, down at the oceanfront, Virginia Beach. And here's those calls to action. So we want people to come in here and we want people to see these reports and we want people to sign up to get more information. So they can sign up right here, pop an email address in, or they can actually sign up with their Facebook account if they need to, and they can go ahead and log in. That's going to go ahead and send them that weekly report based on the North End Neighborhood Report. They're actually going to receive an email that looks really similar to this. That's going to show just a snapshot of what's happening in the market. Here's the new listings in the last 14 days, the number that are currently for sale, the number that have recently sold. It's going to have all of these different listings on it. Now, remember, we're directing traffic to your own personal website. So here we are, ralstonaudain.com/North End. We can use that on a direct mail postcard. Again, we can use it in e-card. We can use it in social media. And if I click on any of these listings at all, because I'm driving traffic specifically to my website, okay, all of this is going to be branded to you. So here's that contact. Your name and phone number is going to be on here. Your face is going to be on all of these different properties that you're sending out and that people can go ahead and click on. We're also encouraging people by coming and looking at listings on your website to use one of the calls to action to generate leads. So we have lots and lots of different calls to action on these different pages. Schedule a showing, request information, save it as a favorite, just contact you. If you keep scrolling down, there's going to be lots of different ways to contact. And then as you get all the way near the bottom here, you're also going to have a way to contact you as well. So all of these things are just trying to encourage people to sign up, because we want people to be able to use your website as if it were their own little back office for their home buying and selling needs as well, because this actually creates the client dashboard, which is a whole nother class, which is really cool. All right, so there's our neighborhood reports. All right, so let's take a look at another category here for driving traffic. And these are lead landing pages. So in the websites, we have a whole host of landing pages that you can either create from scratch to try to gather information, or we have some system lead page examples that you can also use, again, in social, in e-card, in direct mail, automatically built in. So some of these pages are really neat in that they allow you to redirect somewhere else. So if you've ever been on a website and it says, here, give us our name and email address, and we will send you a free report for such and such a checklist, or we'll send you a free whatever. We call those affectionately in the industry squeeze pages. It means we're trying to squeeze information out of you in order to open that door and give you something else. The website actually does something similar to this, and you can go ahead and create different lead pages to be able to try to just capture information, and it can be all sorts of different things. So this particular example up on your screen right now is, what is my home's value? It's actually not going to the home value tool, which we're going to talk about in a second. It's just trying to gather information before we click and send them off to that tool to allow them to enter that address. So this is a way of squeezing that information first and then letting them enter the address in order to get that home value report, which we'll show in just a second on here. You don't have to use it for things like home value. You can also use it for maybe sign up for your weekly or a monthly newsletter. Of course, we have those built into the system. We're going to talk about those in a second. You can also use it for different lead pages that are based on things like, do you need a comparative market analysis? Are you relocating? Can we help? Let me show you what a couple of those different pages looks like here. All right, I'm back on Ralston's website again, just so we can take a look at some of this stuff. And I want to point out these two categories here at the top called System Lead Page Examples and Lead Page Examples here. System lead page examples, these are already pre-built. They're long forms. They're meant to gather a lot of information, and they're used in a very specific way. So for example, let's take that relocation request that I just mentioned. Maybe you're doing some advertising outside the area. Maybe you're targeting some military bases in other areas. Maybe you really focus on people moving in or out of the area, and you want to do some marketing on relocation requests. This form is already pre-built into the system, and it's going to say, it's just going to ask the basic questions. Where are we moving to? What's your contact information? What kind of information do you need? Do you want us to send you more information? How did you hear about me? And again, all of these are pre-built into the system, so you can go ahead and use those. And they're all for different categories. If they hit submit, of course, all of that information is dropping into that client manager that's available on RWT Connect. So those system lead pages, again, are pre-built into the system. So these fields are set in stone. These pages are just pages. You can't change any of these different fields. They are there just to gather information. For example, here's that competitive market analysis one. Great to use on social, great to use on e-cards and in your prospecting. You can, however, make those more custom pages as well. And here's just some examples. So I'm going to just grab lead form 2. I actually don't remember what this looks like. Well, that's interesting. All right, you can change this background photo if you'd like. We certainly don't necessarily need that. You can change your title. You can add some words up here and have full name and email address and message and have send. So this would be a good example of maybe you wanted to say, get your free moving checklist. So Berkshire Hathaway has those great moving checklists, and they have all of that great information available in marketing resource that you can certainly provide to people, and you can kind of create a squeeze page for that. So you can say, get your free moving checklist on here. You can put a little sentiment about, that moving can be difficult, and this checklist should make your life easy, or give you some ideas about what you might need to do before you move. If they give you their full name and email address, you can leave it as a message on here and hit send. We can actually tell this page, hey, we want this to go to my page that has the download on it for that checklist that I have from Marketing Resource. We'll probably do a class on doing lead pages and squeeze pages in the future, just because they're a really fun way to gather information in lead gen. And it's definitely something that needs to be explained to set up, but these are all available here. And again, remember, this is about inspiration for you in the future. You can certainly change all of these background photos too. This would be a great one to use with maybe some moving boxes, for example. All right. The next thing we have is our bio category. Oops, that didn't show up on there. Hopefully you guys were able to take my class at 10 o'clock. They talked about filling in your biography that's available on your website. Every single agent has one. If you go to the top of your page on your website, you'll see the Site Builder tab. Even if you don't have a Site Builder website, you do have the ability to change this bio page under that Site Builder tab under there. It's going to be under Interior Pages and then Bio. You're going to want to go ahead and fill out this information. We know that these pages rank very, very high in Google. They're really important for having this kind of resume out there for people to be able to find you. You are able to connect all of your different social media to it and have links. You can add your biography. It's going to have your most current photo on it. And it's also going to have your active and pending listings, as well as your sold listings. We don't show those down below. But you're going to want to make sure that you have this biography filled out, if only because it ranks so high in Google, and it's really important for people to be able to find you. It's amazing how many people you meet, in the grocery store, or you get referred by somebody else, and the first thing they're going to do is go try to search you on the internet and try to find you. And we know that the first things that are going to pop up when they put in your name and realtor, your name and Berkshire Hathaway or BHHS, are going to be things like your bio pages. So it's going to be your Sitebuilder website is probably going to come up first, and then your global bio page, and of course your local bio page in here as well. If you missed that 10 o'clock class, the recording should be available, I would say, early next week. And I hope you have an opportunity to take a look at how to fill in all of your profile information and really how to utilize all of these different profile pages that are available to you. So one of the more underutilized tools that we have in our system is Property Watch. So the Property Watch tool allows you to set up your clients on a saved search so that they can get email notifications about properties that are coming on the market. I know everybody loves to set up these saved searches out of the MLS, but you're not receiving any benefit of the traffic from any of that, and you're really not branding yourself with your clients. You're branding it actually to the MLS system itself instead. We of course have this issue in most of our market areas with Rain. They have their own website. So if you say to your client, I'm going to set you up on a saved search on Rain, and they start receiving these properties, they have Rain in their head, and they can go to rain.com and take a look at different properties. But of course, all of those are going to go to the listing agents. They're not going to be driven, all that traffic's not going to be driven back to you and have your name on every single listing that's on there. So it's really important for you to get that kind of traffic being driven back to your website so that you can make sure that you're taking advantage of the benefits of that. Google loves to rank pages higher that are more used. And part of the way that you can do that is to make sure that you have your client set up on Property Watch to receive those notifications. It's really easy to set up clients on Property Watch in our system. You're just going to add a client to our client manager and let them have access to Property Watch. and then you'll be able to go ahead and create those saved searches. We've already done a class last month, I believe, on the client dashboard and how to set up those saved searches. If you need to take a look at that class, I highly encourage you to do that on the training YouTube channel. It'll give you an idea of what the client dashboard looks like so that you can see how the clients can manage all of their saved searches and favorite properties. And it'll also show you all of the reporting that you can get by setting up your clients on Property Watch in your client manager. You'll actually be able to see any saved searches or favorite properties that they've saved that you haven't sent them. They can actually do their own. But you're actually going to be able to see all of the different properties that they've looked at, whether it was something that you sent them in an email or not. So as you see them wandering around on your website and maybe changing their criteria a little bit, or you see them looking at a very particular house over and over and over again, it can help to generate that conversation with them about their home buying and selling needs on there. All right. The next one we'll want to do is these market watch reports for incubating your past clients. So the second report that we have that can be generated from the website is called a market watch report. And it's just going to be about market trends. So this one doesn't have to have anything to do with properties. So remember, Property Watch is about actual properties, listings for sale, things that are actively going on in the market. These market watch reports are just that. They're just information about the market and what's going on. How many homes are for sale? What's the average list price? What's new on the market? These are great for incubating clients that are just trying to keep a pulse on what might be happening in the real estate industry, maybe in their area. You can set up clients for more than one market watch report, just like you can set up clients for more than one property watch report as well. So if you have somebody who has a primary residence in one area and maybe they're an investor and they're just looking at information in another area, you can do that as well. So this is what it actually looks like on screen. And then there's a schedule email updates button at the very top. Client can actually set themselves up on the schedule email updates. This is very similar to what the email looks like that they get about this information. You can also set up these market watch reports in the back end of the website. So far we've had lots of information that we can actually send to people so far out of the website. So we have the Property Watch notifications about new listings that have come on the market and price changes. We have those neighborhood reports that are really hyper local that we can have them on a weekly email to receive information about those. And then of course we have our Market Watch reports here on just market trends in general that don't have anything to do with very specific properties.
Hey, Kristen.
Yes.
There's a question I want to get addressed quickly if we can.
Sure.
Question is it similar to Real Scout?
So Real Scout is similar to this. Yes, it's just a slightly different product. If you're comfortable using Real Scout and you're happy with it, certainly continue to use Real Scout. But yes, this has the same capabilities as the Real Scout product, just in a kind of different way.
And Real Scout is a full website or no? It's not a website like this is.
It's more of a portal than a website.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a full website and Real Scout is a portal, not as much.
Yes. So
access.
Basically Real Scout has all the search functions, and the Real Scout has all the search functions and kind of these reporting functions and get new listing functions and things like that. But what it doesn't have are things like the neighborhood pages and content pages and the other customizable things that you can have in a website. So yes, it has all the search functionality, but it doesn't have all the extra pieces.
Great. Thank you, Kristen.
You're welcome. All right, we ready to move on?
Yes, please.
Thanks. All right. Next thing you can do to help generate traffic and lead gen for your website is to send emails often and automatically. Our system does have the ability to send a monthly e-newsletter to every single person in the system. We also have stock cards and e-cards and newsletters that you can use as well. We want to make sure that we're sending people, even if they're not receiving property notifications or Market Watch notifications, we're just trying to make sure that we keep in touch with everyone. Your best bet for keeping in touch with people is about every 3 weeks seems to be the sweet spot between over communicating with people who are not actively in the market and under communicating with people. It is amazing how often people forget who they worked with in real estate. Even though you were the most important person in their life for the 2 or 3 months that you were working with them to buy that house, a lot of times they have a hard time coming up with the name of the person who actually did business with them a few months down the road. So it's really important that we keep up with people and make sure that we're sending them information. So one of the things that we can do in here is I love the monthly email newsletters, but also just e-cards for things like holidays or just keep in touch. Excuse me. Our system also has ways to send automatic emails based on wedding anniversaries, home anniversaries, and birthdays as well. Give me 1 second here. Since we have dated this recording, as you know, we're dealing with a little bit of smoke from the Canadian fires. And unfortunately, I just got a mouthful. All right, let's take a look at number 8 here. Sharing your home valuation tool from BuySide. This is a wonderful, wonderful tool to use. And if you're not utilizing it, you should be. So the home valuation tool allows you to get information based on people entering an address into your home value website. So they'll enter an address, and it might not always be theirs. It might be a neighbor. Usually they'll start out with a neighbor, and then you'll notice that their address probably pops up in the second or third one you receive in a row. Anytime somebody puts their address in here, you're going to get an email. And it's going to say, hey, somebody just checked the value of their home. And it's going to give you the name that's available in the tax record. So again, it may not be the person who's actually looking up their value, but sometimes it is. I will say we've had the most success with the home value tool from BuySide, certainly on social media, sharing it in general on your social page, but also we have a lot of success with agents who are sharing it in things like their neighborhood groups. So if you belong to a specific neighborhood group, it's a wonderful tool to be able to add if you're actually able to do a little bit of advertising in there. Let's take a look at it live real quick. And again, every single agent is going to have one of these. Ugh. There we go. And it is going to be branded to you. This information is actually pulled in from your profile on RWT Connect. So if you haven't taken the profile class again, make sure that you take it. And that way you can adjust your information on here. When you share this on social media, it's actually going to generate a nice image for you to be able to use. And it's going to say, enter your home address, and it's going to say, we have buyers. So you're going to be able to use this information to be able to maybe even generate some business based on a neighborhood that you're trying to farm. You can certainly use this link on direct mails. You can use this on e-cards. You can try to generate as much business as you can. The one thing I do love about this is when the report actually pops up in here, it's going to give the people lots and lots and lots of different ways to contact you. I'm actually going to run one. Please do not try to list this home. This happens to be my mother-in-law, and she is not going to appreciate trying to sell her home right now. All right, there we go. So Ralston just received an email right now that said, hey, somebody at 1710 Colonial Ave just checked the home value of their home, and here's the name of the person who lives there. Now, again, doesn't necessarily mean that this person is the person who's actually looking it up. Sometimes it is, usually it is. But we have all these calls to action to try to figure out if that person is truly the person who lives at that house. And we also have ways to try to get people to sign up for more information and also like monthly reports on things. And all of this, of course, is generating leads for you and driving traffic back to you. So you have things every time you see one of these buttons here, it's actually trying to encourage them to sign up. So you have, I am the owner. If they want to receive monthly updates on this property, they have the ability to change this. So for example, I know this happens to be wrong because she just closed in her garage. There's more square footage than this. So I could actually click this and it's going to say, hey, if you want to change this information, you need to verify that it's you, and it's going to ask you for some information on here. And of course, all of that is going to be sent directly to you. If they sign up for a monthly update or they claim that they're the owner, again, you're going to receive that secondary email that says somebody signed up for a monthly update on this property. And it's going to have their first name, last name, and email address. If somebody has claimed this property, it's going to send you that information that was required to verify the ownership of this property. So it's going to give you all this different reporting. It's going to say, is this, completely off base? Let's contact this agent and say it's completely off base or get a different report. And again, if they want to change anything about this in order to get a better estimate on their property, they're going to have to claim it and they're going to have to give you some more information. And it's going to give them, of course, some basic information in here, and then it's going to include the list of potential buyers. And again, there's no specific information in here. This information is only available to the agents who actually put this in, but you can contact the agents in our system in BuySide to be able to figure out who has these listings, who has these buyers if you happen to get this listing. This is a great way to be able to say, okay, I'm going to send a direct mail to this particular neighborhood if I have a bunch of people who are looking. It's a great way to be able to just send a quick postcard or a quick card to this address, just with your services in it. There's all sorts of fun things you can do, even if nobody gives you the first name, last name, and email address. But we do try to get as many people as we can to provide us with that information when we can, based on the calls to action on here for you. All right, one of the things that we can do on all of our websites is also install Facebook Messenger chat. We know that some people love to communicate in chat and not necessarily in an email or picking up the phone. All of our websites do support the ability to use your Facebook Messenger chat if you like to communicate that way. It just encourages them to be able to go ahead and contact you instantaneously at any time on there. And it's going to go ahead and drop into your Facebook Messenger app, of course, and you'll be able to converse with people in real time, just as you would as if you were talking to them, if they were your friend on Facebook or if they had contacted your business page on Facebook. The directions for doing that can be found in the training section on RWT Connect. There's a whole section on how to connect your Facebook business page and your Facebook Messenger to our sites. It's a fairly easy process, but it's one that we can't do for you because you actually have to be logged in as both your personal profile and your business page to do it, but it's fairly easy to walk through to do. It's a wonderful way to encourage people to contact you instantaneously and just give people a way to contact you outside, of course, of your traditional email or picking up the phone. We also love this because we know that we can actually target Facebook ads back on people who have contacted us from Facebook Messenger. So that's kind of an advanced feature to use in the future. But if you like Facebook and you like texting with people and you like chatting with people, this might be a great option for you to just have on your website to be able to generate more conversations. And last, but certainly not least, something that we've talked about a lot in all of our training classes over the last couple of months is that we want to make sure that we're redirecting those BHHS digital ads directly to our website. Again, I mentioned before that part of Google's algorithm is how many people you actually drive to your website and how many people are using it. It's going to rank your website higher based on the usage. Because if people find it valuable, of course, it's going to rank higher than other websites that people don't find as valuable. You do have the option on your BHHS listing digital ads, those free ads that come in through Chalk Digital, those free 7-day ads, to change your website address. We highly encourage you to do this. If you leave it and you don't change it, it will go to that global profile page. And it's going to go to that listing detail page on the global profile, but that's not going to give your website that boost, and it's not going to encourage them to use all the different tools and landing pages and squeeze pages and reports and things like that that you have available on your website. So you're going to want to go ahead and change that website address. Let me give you a tip and trick just to make life easy. We do have an easy way for you to be able to enter your website on here. If you have a site builder website, you can use https:// whatever your domain is. So I'm going to use ralstonaudain.com/ whatever the MLS number is. So you can put ralstonaudain.com/1046528. And it's going to make sure that it goes to the right listing without having to have that huge string. It's just a nice, easy way for us to be able to get those links for our site builder websites. Now, if you have a website that's not site builder, that doesn't necessarily work. So we are specifically talking about the site builder websites right now. And by the way, you can use that tip and trick anywhere. So if you want a nice, easy way to be able to share your listings on social media, you could do the same. So your domain, so I'm just going to use ralstonaudain.com / whatever the MLS number is to generate your link for things like social media and also your e-cards. But you have about 24 hours between the time the listing goes in and the listing goes live. Sometimes it's a little less. You're going to get an email from Chalk Digital and from BHHS letting you know that you have a short period of time to be able to change your ad. Go ahead and make any changes you need to make. Make sure your photo looks good. Make sure the listing photo is engaging. You can always change it to something else. Make sure it says what you want it to say. It's pulling in directly from the MLS. But most importantly, make sure that you're driving this traffic back to your own website to be able to take advantage of the traffic that's coming from these ads. We see these ads generate a couple thousand impressions, and the click-through rates have been pretty good right now because of the low inventory situation we have. So highly encourage you again to just make sure that you're using your own website on here. So again, this class was more about inspiration than it was about instruction. I am happy to take any questions that you might have, but we have trained on every single one of these topics in the past. You can find all of that training on RWT Connect under the coaching and training section on the training YouTube channel. And it will give you all the explanations of all the different things we've talked about today and all the different tools. Hopefully you'll be able to use some to generate more leads, especially as we go into our summer and of course our heavy fall market. These are great ways for you to just drive traffic and generate leads to build your book of business. Any additional questions today?
Lewis has a question.
Kristen,
Yes.
where can we find those global pages again?
So if you go to, let me pull up Ralston here real quick. If you just want a sample of what those look like, the ones that are available right now are on Ralston's website, and you can just pull them up and just change that domain. So for example, here's ralstonaudain.com /SRES. All I would have to do, since these are global pages, is just change this to lewiseisenberg.com /SRES. And there you go, Lewis. And you are welcome to share this on your social media right this very second if you'd like to. It's all nicely formatted and branded for you.
Yeah, thank you so much. I didn't realize that we can just go to Ralston's page and grab those then.
You can. We'll show you an advanced feature of where they are, where you can find them on your own in the future. But for right now, that's probably the easiest way to explain it. Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? Is the MLS short code again?
Sure. So you can use your domain. So actually, I'm just going to use Lewis up here, and I do not have an MLS number in front of me. I don't think. You know, I'm going to probably make a fool out of myself and try this, but I hope that's not too many numbers. Ah, look. There we go. So I just put in lewiseisenberg.com / and I just put the MLS number right after it, and it immediately took me directly to the page that I needed. Did that answer your question? Okay, perfect.
And there was a question a little bit ago that I said you would get to, Kristen. I'm trying to find it again. Do we get to the site builder on RWT Connect?
You do get to the site builder on RWT Connect. Give me 1 second and I will pull it up for you. Right. There we go. So RWT Connect. I happen to be signed in as Susan Pender, and there is Site Builder right there. And this is where you can get to your layouts, your site editor, which is where you edit your homepage, all of your interior pages, and your image library. And if you haven't attached a domain to your site yet, do let us know at websupport@rwtown.com. We'll be happy to help you do that. You can also click View Website here to view your live website as well. All right. Any additional questions?
I don't see anybody has unmuted. I don't see anything else in the chat, and I don't see any virtual hands.
Wonderful.